lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond!
Scooby-on!
Beyond, what's up? What? Scooby-on? That totally threw me out. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 360. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the best beard in the business, Marty Sleva.
Hey!
And then because you sat there, then over here is the ever-rotating third chair, sitting in it. The face of IGN, David Hatfield.
Thanks for having me, Greg.
No problem. No, you're what do you mean? What are you? You're sitting in the chair. You're sitting in the ever-rotating third chair. Colin's gone. He's in Japan.
He is.
TGS is happening.
Yeah, there was an earthquake. He survived, though.
Yeah, well, so as far as we know.
Okay. Well, we're getting emails.
I hope he's eating that black burger at Burger King.
What's the black burger?
I did a story on it on IGN over the weekend. It did pretty well. But every year, for a limited time, Burger King sells black cheeseburgers. They're black. The bun and the cheese are made black with bamboo charcoal.
Okay.
And then they mix the ketchup with squid ink to make a sauce.
God,
That sounds delicious.
sounds terrifying.
Only available for a limited time.
Colin will not eat that, is my prediction.
I know.
I went to the Dark Souls cafe last year in Tokyo, and they had like a dragon claw, and everything was black. And let me tell you, that was like black sauce and everything. I don't think it was an actual dragon claw. I'm not sure what it was.
Sure.
Yeah, probably not. Hard to find.
That was an interesting little thing to eat. And
An interesting little thing to eat.
That was an interesting thing for the body to process.
How did everything go on the outside?
It was black.
Yeah? Everything was black?
Everything was black.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's cool, though.
Yeah.
I like
Black
food.
stool?
Yeah.
That's not good. You're actually supposed to have that checked out.
It turned out it perfectly coincided with him getting like an intestinal thing where he's bleeding and he just didn't know. He's like, this squid ink claw. I can't get rid of this. I can't get rid of this dragon claw. When I was in Japan for Thanksgiving last year, we went to the Capcom Cafe.
Oh, nice.
And all their stuff was themed after their games.
Oh, wow.
They have
People were eating.
so many different cafes. There's a Gundam cafe.
Yeah.
There's a Monster Hunter cafe. There's a Final Fantasy one.
Yeah. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Japan's cool.
So much cooler than our country's so boring.
Yeah.
Here's a million fast food places.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
wonder
We
why
don't
we're
have any
fat.
We don't have any black burgers here.
We got Applebee's, though.
Yeah,
got
we
the
just wrap
B's.
everything in bacon. Deep fried again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Podcast Beyond, IGN's PlayStation podcast, the #1 PlayStation podcast on the internet. You can get it as an MP3 each and every Tuesday on your favorite podcast service of choice or IGN.com. Then every Wednesday, I post the video where you can see me touching my boys like this on IGN.com, YouTube.com/IGN, and of course, that IGN PlayStation 4 app. Now, let's begin the show with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. There it is, time for some news. So you're in the rotating third chair.
Okay.
You don't have to know these things. But if you're over here on the left, you got to know it.
You know what I hate? Taxes.
Oh. No, thank you, everybody. Real quick shout out to everybody. The reason you two are on this show, other than the fact that I love you, of course, you know that. I've made that pretty clear, I think, in the years I've known you, is last night on my Twitch stream, everybody requested you when I said, who do they want to see on Beyond?
Thanks, Twitch.
So there you go. Thanks, Twitch.
What were you streaming? Some Destiny?
Yeah, I was streaming more Destiny last night. We're going to get to, we have a whole bunch of Destiny to talk about.
Yeah, okay.
So everybody hold up. Right now, 7 items on the Roper Report. Scream. It's a baker's dozen.
That's a baker's dozen!
Everyone loves that joke. Welcome to the podcast.
Theater of the mind.
All right, number 1. This is a big one, Damon. You probably heard about it. Mojang has been sold to Microsoft for $2.5 billion. Notch is growing tired of working for such a big organization. He and the other 2 founders, Carl and Jacob, are all leaving the company following the deal. Now, here's the thing. This happens. When it was rumored, I was freaking out about PlayStation Vita version. That's all I want. Give me the PlayStation Vita version. And they've dragging their heels, these 4J Studio folks. Now, with this announcement, they came out and said, of course, the PC, Mac, 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, Vita, iOS, and Android editions will continue to be supported and developed as they currently are, despite the deal. Microsoft was very clear about that. I like that.
That's incredible.
Is there a precedence for that?
I don't think so.
Now, when Microsoft bought Rare,
Yeah.
they still had a deal to deliver some GBA games to Nintendo, and Rare allowed them to make 2 more Banjo-Kazooie games on
That were really bad.
for GBA.
Yeah.
Because the only reason was because Microsoft didn't have a portable, so that they were like not a competitor. But in this case, this is very different.
Yeah, I feel like this is also a show of good faith. Like it's them being like, hey, like we want to treat this thing with respect.
It doesn't want to be another thing that they're taking away from other gamers, just like Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's a great point. It'll be interesting to see if, like, I guess Minecraft 2 would be the change, right? If they do, what are they gonna do? It's also weird that, like, the 3 people who are, like, so notable with the studio leaving. Notch had a whole blog post about it. He basically is just like, everybody's mean on the internet. This isn't what I wanted to be when I set out to make the games. I make the games because they're fun. He says, "Quote: I've become a symbol. A symbol." He didn't screw it up like I just did. I'm sorry.
I've become a symbol.
Quote: I've become a symbol. Everyone's like, "Watch, are you okay?"
Melting. Like the secret world of Alex Mack.
This is what a symbol is? It's terrible.
Why would anyone want to become a symbol?
Alanis Morissette comes out. Isn't it ironic? Sell your company for $2.5 billion. You become a symbol.
Melt into a symbol puddle.
I become a symbol. I don't want to be a symbol responsible for something huge that I don't understand, that I don't want to work on, that keeps coming back to me. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not a CEO. I'm a nerdy computer programmer who likes to have opinions on Twitter.
Yeah, his last line, too, was, this isn't about the money, it's about my sanity.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah, good for him. Get out while you can.
Absolutely.
To be fair, he did make a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah,
off of it.
I'm sure that, exactly. It's always easy to say, the money doesn't matter to me when you have lots of money.
Yeah, that's that makes sense. He was never like he's a total indie developer, right? Like, he made Minecraft in the most indie way possible. Like, released the alpha way ahead of time. People could like pay for it to get in early before it was launched. He built it with like a grassroots movement. He didn't ever anticipate it getting as big and as huge as it is. And now he's kind of like this isn't really what I set out to create, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to make cool games and have fun.
That's what he said. He said, like, he wants to do, like, Let 'em Dare, like, game jams now, and, like, small things like that. I'm like, that's awesome. And he's like, I'm well aware I'm probably never going to have this sort of success again. Like, I will never have a second Minecraft.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, good on him.
Do you think Minecraft's in good hands?
Lots of questions.
Yeah, I think it's too early to tell.
Is it a good buy for Microsoft?
Yeah.
Is it good for Minecraft? Is it good for Minecraft players? Has Minecraft peaked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting in the news story, right? Or in one of the updates, Microsoft said I think it was sometime in the fiscal year 2015 they would make their money back. That was what their prediction was. I was like, damn.
Just off the amount of money that's bringing in, like, on a daily basis today.
That's insane.
Interesting.
And that Vita version.
Yeah.
That's
at the end of the day, Minecraft may very well be the highest selling Xbox One, PS4 game of all time.
Yeah. We just had NPD numbers last week. It was number 3, the third best selling game, the 360 and PS3 version of last month.
It's insane.
And it's been out a long
years.
It's been out for so long. It's crazy. It went Madden, and then...
Oh, no! Speaking of NPD numbers, Greg Way, PlayStation 4 is the best-selling platform for the 8th month in a row. Sony told IGN with Madden NFL 15 on PS4 taking the #1 spot for overall software sales. Xbox One sales have nearly doubled in August compared to July. Microsoft representative told IGN. Microsoft attributes this to, quote, strong demand for the Xbox One Madden 15 bundle. North American video game hardware sales doubled year over year in August.
What about that Wii U?
Nope. Nothing to report there. Nintendo did not pick up their phone. No, PlayStation 4, Xbox One continue to sell well.
That's good. That's good for everyone.
Continuing to sell well in spite of a lack of big big AAA games. I mean, you have Destiny, but like that was the first big AAA game in a while.
Especially like the last big PS4 one was The Last of Us.
I'm not knocking the PS4's library. I think it's really strong.
Yeah.
Indie games are awesome.
Sure,
so
but they're not usually
it's just different.
units.
Yeah, it's just different than it has been in the past.
Yeah, especially now when we're finally getting to that season with Destiny, and then now we're gonna have Mordor and
that's the thing. Yeah, there's so much coming out over the next few months.
Yeah, super excited.
Like Minecraft on Vita.
No, stop it.
Come on, I don't want you to forget money!
You got Terraria!
Who doesn't love Terraria? Let's talk about a possible exclusive that may have been announced, leaked, rumored. This is for a while we've known that Guerrilla, the guys who make Killzone, have been working on another project. The rumor's been open world RPG because they picked up some Fallout guys. Now, concept art has leaked that people are saying is the same thing. The unverified and heavily watermarked images first appeared on the Chinese forum, on a Chinese forum, not the Chinese forum. My apologies.
Chinese forums.gov.
ChineseForums.gov. Showing off robotic dinosaurs in both a sparse, snowy environment and another in woodland. While we don't know for certain whether these images are for the game, which is reportedly codenamed Horizon, the images do seem to tally with this is written by somebody across the pond, I don't know. Tally with claims made by an industry insider called Shinobi602 back in May.
He is an actual industry insider.
I know. He made claims back then that the robotic dinosaurs and a redheaded female
Shinobi
protagonist.
From the Sega games?
Yeah, I think so.
Like he's retired.
No, his Twitter avatar is Newman from Seinfeld. So I just picture him looking like Newman.
Well, maybe that's what Shinobi looks like now.
Yeah.
He's also pissed that he had to get 602. He couldn't just get Shinobi. He wasn't on the ground floor of the ChineseForum.gov.
Shinobi 595.
Damn it!
596.
If only I wasn't such a popular star of video games. Of course, it's not beyond the realms of possibility for someone to have. Thank you. Gone to town using the information and in blah 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 blah. However, Shinobi 602 has a history of correct predictions, including Quantum Break's delay.
You should probably hire him.
And the setting for Battlefield Hardline. So take that with a grain of salt, but it makes sense.
So
we've heard so much about this stupid thing.
The news is there could be a game from the developers of Killzone that involves robotic dinosaurs.
Right.
Yeah, the concept art is awesome.
With a red-headed protagonist.
And
female.
it's like almost like the characters hunting the dinosaurs were almost like cavemen, Neanderthals. They were like wearing furs and had bows and arrows. That's great. Yeah,
that's what
more
you want.
dinosaurs in games.
You want bows and arrows? And
Dinosaurs are terrifying.
Yeah, dinosaurs are awesome.
It's actually not historically accurate. Cavemen and robotic dinosaurs were actually never alive at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Earth is also only 6,000 years old. Is that a Colin thing? No.
Is that a Colin thing? That'd be awesome. No taxes, super political, also I'm a creationist. Wait, what? All right. I'd be down. I'm excited for... I want a good PS4 open world RPG.
I'd like to see him do something besides Killzone.
Exactly.
That'd be interesting.
Shadowfall, whatever. But whatever. What about SteamWorld Dig?
The sequel?
Yeah.
Turn-based strategy game.
SteamWorld Heist.
Yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. SteamWorld Dig developer Image Inform Games has announced the next game in the franchise, SteamWorld Heist, due out in spring of 2015. Though you're still controlling robots, gameplay is now focused on turn-based combat as you launch heists on other ships in a bid to steal the resources you desperately need to stay alive.
I have a question for Marty.
Yeah.
Have you played SteamWorld Dig?
I played a little bit of it, not as much as I should have.
Is it good?
Yes, it's very good. And I know Altano loves it.
Okay, because I've been like watching it from afar, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'd like it.
Everyone
maybe
who's put time
boring.
in it was like, this is one of the secret best games.
Because it always comes with like, the recommendation always comes with like, if you like these sort of grindy games.
Yeah.
Which sometimes I do.
But then other times it's like, well, I don't want to waste my time with this. Yeah.
So
I liked what I played so far.
I'm getting on a plane on Thursday. Should I download it on my 3DS?
Where are you going?
Kansas.
Oh, back to the homeland.
Yep.
Next week I'm gonna go back to Chicago. We could have been flying.
We just can't stay away.
Left our hearts drawing us back every time.
We rep for the Midwest side.
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna check out
Mofo
SteamWorld Dig, and then also SteamWorld Heist sounds interesting.
It does.
Damon, what are you gonna check out tonight at 10 p.m.?
Tuesday. I was thinking about watching Edge of Tomorrow tonight.
Oh, really?
That's supposed to be good, right?
Yeah. Let me know how that comes out.
It is really good.
You could also watch the Sony TGS conference here on ign.com.
That's what I have to do.
We'll be working there.
Yeah. 10 o'clock tonight, Sony's conference kicks off. You can watch the PlayStation press conference live right here on IGN.
Yeah, we have really no idea what to expect.
No.
Sony previously stated it would reveal 2 new PlayStation 4 games at TGS, so keep an eye out for IGN's coverage on those announcements. No guarantee they're during the conference.
So what time does the show go up?
This will go up in the early afternoon, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
So I can't say what it is.
Oh, you know one of them?
No. We have stories around 6 o'clock going up. Stuff that Mitch saw.
Oh.
Mitch is the little red-headed one.
Yeah.
Canada.
He's the one who fights the robot dinosaurs.
Yeah, he fights when no one else will. A bunch of stories about a game/games that I am very much looking forward to. So
Patapon.
Yeah, Patapon.
Would you say it's your type of game?
It is my type of game.
Is it a grindy game that Damon may or may not like?
It's a game starring a Simo.
We got the exclusive on Notch, the game. It's a rhythm game. You got a rhythm.
I sort of want the three of us to have to draw what we are picturing as a Simo right now because I think it's very different.
All right,
I'm
let's do
picturing
it.
sort of like the T1000 turning into liquid.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
Pizza the Hut.
Oh, we're just describing them. I was thinking the T1000 doing it, but in a really painful way. He's not doing it well. He's just like breaking down. He's making electronic noises while he dies. We're sorry, Notch. Rest in peace. I got one for you. You ready? This is number 6 in the Roper Report.
Okay.
Steve Jaros, who spent 10 years working at Saints Row developer Volition, is leaving the Illinois-based company for Valve Software. The Volition creative director revealed on Twitter that he's accepted a job at Valve Software, ending his involvement with the Saints Row series in the process. Quote, "The past 10 years at Volition have been life-changing," he wrote. "I've gotten to work with amazing people and made friends that will last a lifetime." Mm-hmm. Is this it for Saints Row, Damon?
Well, I mean...
It's over. Pack it in, Volition.
I think Saints Row peaked with Saints Row the 3rd,
Damn.
and I've been pretty underwhelmed with what they've been doing since then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's probably well past time for him to move on. And like, who can turn down a job from Valve? Like,
Right. That's incredible.
You don't even
that's
do
just
anything.
one of those places. Just you take that job.
Yeah. Yeah, you do take that job, but then does a game ever come out?
Exactly.
Like
You don't need to.
Quinn Hawking, who did Splinter Cell and Far Cry 2, he went to Valve.
Yeah.
Nothing, no game he ever worked on ever came out. Then he left.
Yeah.
So
You just go there. It's like a vacation because they have no bosses.
No.
They have no check-ins. They're just doing
the
stuff.
chairs don't have backs. It's all
Yeah.
like balls.
Is that true?
I don't know, probably.
Okay.
They have an entire room dedicated to Simmels. that's why you can't get a game made.
Gabe, we've brought you another symbol. Excellent.
He devours them. Like,
Every talented developer somehow gets possessed and like, I'm going to become a symbol. And they can put away so they don't make any
That's
games.
why it's taken so long for Half-Life 3 to come out.
Yeah.
It's because they're like, well, halfway through the game, Gordon Freeman becomes a Simmel. Or Simmels. I don't know.
We
how
need to
use that
study.
word.
We need to the semi. Yeah, this is a dumb show.
Arnie, at this point, do you want Half-Life 3 to ever come out? At this point,
I want something. I want Valve to release something that isn't Dota, which they don't need to because that is making them plenty of money.
Sure.
But I would rather have Portal 3 right now. Or I would just rather Valve do a new IP.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably about time.
Yeah.
What about you? You're a big Half-Life fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that how they could possibly live up to expectations at this
Sure.
point.
Yeah, it's tough.
But it makes me really sad that we never got the conclusion of that
Yeah.
game. That
Yeah,
story.
because 2 and episode 1 and 2 are so good.
It's got to come at some point. I still think it's got to come at some point.
like think of, like Destiny, there was a lot of hype behind that, and then that was received with very mixed
Sure.
reception,
Yeah.
and that has only been hyped for like a year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, imagine
Yeah.
Half-Life 3. That's been like 10 years.
Yeah, it's
so.
the same thing with Last Guardian.
Yes.
You know? Do you think those games are hanging out somewhere, like in a meadow?
Just drinking at a bar.
In a meadow?
Sure.
A meadow bar?
That sounds weird. If I'm jumping ahead here, yeah, okay. This
A lot of noises outside this room. I don't know if they're picking
We're gonna
those
come
up.
out and those will be blood everywhere. It'll be like Metal Gear. Then you round that corner, there's blood all over the
The
walls.
Simmel game.
Did someone call down the power of Simmel Notch? Steven wrote into beyond at ign.com, just like you can, to be part of the show, and said, "Dear Greg, Marty, and Damon."
And that's what he said.
He didn't say another thing.
He knew.
Beyond!
Yeah.
Tokyo Game Show 2014. The Last Guardian. Thanks, Steven. Think Last Guardian going to be there?
No.
Of course not.
Colin thinks it is, but he thinks that at every show.
They would have had to have teased something by now, right? They would have said something is coming.
I mean, they've said-
Please be
Listen,
excited.
But they said 2 games. right?
Sony's
Or did we hear that?
audience is in the West for the PlayStation. Like they're not going to announce that game at Japan, like at a Japanese event.
Interesting.
You don't think so, even though it's being made over there?
Yeah, like it's just not. That's not where the audience is anymore. Like even the PS4 isn't doing phenomenally well
True.
in Japan.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of. We've said this a million times. Japan is kind of over console gaming, so their audience is here in the West.
Yeah. Yeah, they like their portables and their phones.
They do like those things.
I like phones.
I do too. I don't like playing with games. on
Unless
the
they're
phone.
going to announce that it's now an iOS game.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Everybody just cries.
I would love to just see the reaction to that.
Stunned
I
silence.
would just lose their minds.
Exclusive to the Ouya. Jeez.
Oh my god, I hadn't thought about the Ouya. What's going on? Can you imagine? People go to work every day in an office and work on Ouya. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know what that's like.
crazy.
Yeah. People still work at AOL.
Yeah, they're sending out the discs.
Some people like their cucumbers pickled.
I do too.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, okay. Damon, you like pickles?
Oh man, come on.
Yeah.
I love pickles, except bread and butter pickles.
Oh, gross.
Ooh.
Disgusting.
Get out of here with
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, yeah.
Dill. Dill or bust.
I like salt pickles too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
kind of a southern thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've had a salt pickle.
my grandma used to like jar them.
Yeah.
But it's very salty.
Yeah,
No,
really
okay.
good.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, good. Everybody send salt pickles to IGN.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Here, send salt pickles to 625 2nd Street, 4th floor, San Francisco, California, just like this mystery package that came to Podcast Beyond today. It feels like a shirt.
Doesn't feel like anthrax? Okay.
No, well, we all know that's how they're going to get us one day. What do you got? They're white shirts.
All right.
All right, there's 2 of them.
Oh, they got little beep boop robots on them.
No note. There's no note. I don't know who sent them.
Size medium.
They're white.
We don't know what we're getting into.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's an advertisement. You're about to advertise another podcast, just so you know.
Mong Podcast sent shirts. On the back it says Game Over Greggy.
Oh, that's
And
your
this
name.
one says Das Colin.
Oh, so it says Das on the back. No notes though. But Mong Podcast is a real thing.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not racist. That's always my thing. Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, I love your show. Send people to my website," and I don't check the website, and then it's just like, "I hate all this. I hate all of these kind of people." Like, "Oh no, what have I?" That's how they get me. Let's start rounding out the Roper Report. The upcoming PlayStation 4 exclusive Drive Club has an install size of around 17 gigabytes, according to the game's director. It's also gone gold, so the game is finally coming out.
Yeah.
I'm a little disheartened that gone gold stories have come back into a thing.
Yeah.
That was the kind of that we would write stories on when I first started here back in 2006, and then we got rid of it. It's like, whatever, like the game's almost here. Like everybody knows.
That's like writing a story like blank is coming out in a week. Like there's no reason to write that story. It's just it is what it is.
Hey, people want to know.
Yeah.
On this game that
came sorry, I didn't
it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. You never have to apologize to me, Damon. Well, for some things you do. I've made you apologize.
As he throws coffee in your face.
He's like, I'm not gonna say sorry. Licks it off my face. Let's go through. This is the thing where Colin usually shoves all the release dates and delays together. So I'm gonna do that because I feel like I have to honor his memory, since he was crushed in the black burger bun incident in Japan. WWE 2K15 PlayStation 4 Xbox One has been delayed until November 18th in the US, November 21st in the UK. It was scheduled for October 28th and 31st, respectively. PS3 and 360 still get on those days.
It's funny, because that's the day Assassin's Creed was going to come out. Unity, and that got delayed 2 weeks, too.
You think they're working together?
No,
is this
now
collusion?
Sunset Overdrive is coming out that day, and it's got that space.
Maybe they're trying to get out of that.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of that area.
Yeah.
They don't want that Sunset Overdrive heat.
Yeah.
All right.
What if they did take Assassin's Creed to space though?
That's fine.
Yeah,
You could jump really high.
Yeah.
If it was on the moon.
You're aboard that.
Well, yeah. Are we in the far-flung future?
No,
we're just running around the moon. That's not. There's not much to
You're
jump.
just hanging out with Neil Armstrong.
What if they built a city on the moon?
Yeah, then I'm down with it. Yeah, that's awesome. Do that, Stone Chin. I know you're listening. Make that happen.
Don't think he makes that game.
He'll make it happen. Are we talking about Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes that game.
I don't think
He does
that's how
it.
games are made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
When the credits roll on Assassin's Creed Unity, it just says Stone Chin.
And there's like one licensed song, and then it's like the assassins will return. Oh my god, it'd be the best credits ever. Telltale Games has announced The Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2 will hit PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for the first time in October, with The Wolf Among Us following suit in November. Those will be the same months that the respective compiled versions of the games are also released at retail on PS3, PlayStation Vita, and Xbox 360. Techland has announced via Twitter that Dying Light will launch in January 2015 instead of February as previously planned. That's nice.
That's nice.
They bumped it back and then you know what? No, we were right the first time. Come back.
Yeah.
Shadow Warrior hits PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on October 24th in Europe.
What is that?
Bandai Namco has announced. It's a
Bankai
first-person shooter.
Scambo.
Is it like Pit Fighter? I want it to be another Pit Fighter.
It is a Pit Fighter reboot, a gritty Pit Fighter reboot.
Finally.
It was already pretty gritty.
Yeah, it was super gritty.
They've listened to our cries and made it. Murasaki Baby will be available exclusively on the PlayStation Vita September 16th in
That's
North
really
America.
soon.
It's a Vita game.
Yeah.
European.
That's tomorrow.
17th.
Or today.
Today, yeah. We can finally play that. Then, the Marvel Superhero Edition of Little Big Planet Vita releases November 19th with new costumes and minigames. The minigames include Hero Rush, Shield Inceptor, and Avengers Ultimate Escape. They're composed of numerous stages for players to tackle, compete, and 18 Marvel character costumes for Sackgirl or Sackboy. I don't think I've ever seen them say Sackgirl before. Good.
Surely they've said that before.
I'm sure they have, but they always say Sackboy because technically you can just put hair on them and then it's Sackgirl. It's the same thing. Now you got this toggle
Is that
on
the
there.
difference between boys and girls?
You got the odd sock when they're got a zipper in their chest. Yeah, that's what Sackboy has.
They both have sacks though.
They're made of sacks. We all come from a sack in the real. And when you think about it, that's the end of it.
The end. Thanks for listening, everybody.
This has been brought to you by Stone Chin.
Credits roll up podcast beyond. All three parts were played by Stone Chin. Charlie Gatson writes in and says, Greg, I'm sure you're curious to know which games came out this week. Since Colin isn't here, I'm glad to let you know that you go to the official Andrew Goldfarb memorial list of upcoming PlayStation software on all three platforms by the IGN editors. Yeah, he did. He literally wrote down the news jingle. Yeah. He screwed me up. Thanks a lot for nothing, Charlie. This is where we talk about what comes out this week, Damon. And as
we didn't just do that. Okay.
Well, that's just the news of the week.
Okay.
And then we go through usually this is what came to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 and Vita. But in true Greg Miller fashion, I completely forgot about that. So I put the question down. Just didn't remember then to go look at what games came out. Is it hard to turn on your PlayStation 4 and go to the store? Is it hard to go to ign.com and look at the PlayStation update?
Sometimes.
No, it isn't.
Oh, it's not at all?
No, not hard at all.
Not if you're a Prime member.
Does that make it easier?
I hear there's a Godzilla ad on the site today.
Nice. I like.
Not if you're a Prime member.
That's true too. Yeah. Is it coming out on DVD?
Yeah,
and Blu-rays and stuff. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I like it.
Did
you do the sound effects?
Yeah. Did you see Tom Hiddleston starring in the King Kong movie?
Well, I think he's in talks. I don't think that's official.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting. I like him.
Scoop.
He played Loki.
Oh, thank you. That makes now I know who he is.
Yeah.
Interesting. Who's he going to be? King Kong?
Probably, or Queen Kong.
Did you also see the official synopsis for Avengers: Age of Ultron?
No.
When you're reading the synopsis, it sounds really boring.
Tony Stark turns on a robot, and it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
An evil threat.
But don't worry, everything works out in the end.
Yeah.
It's like
no one important dies.
Earth's
See you
greatest
next time.
heroes.
And if they do,
must
they
band
come back
together.
on a TV show, and I don't know if it was ever really explained. I lost interest. So Damon, would you like to talk about Destiny?
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy. Then here we go. You have a whole bunch of questions about that, right? Here comes Xavier. He says Beyond.
Beyond.
To Greg and whoever else he's found to replace Colin and fill in the ever-rotating third chair. I was just wondering, what do you guys think about Destiny? Not the game itself, but do you think it lived up to the hype? Do you think it is going to be played and talked about for a while, or is it going to be a bit more like Titanfall and fade away from the spotlight after the initial first few weeks? Thank you, and keep up the good work, Xavier.
Thanks, Professor.
That
That was a theme song.
Yeah, that was.
Jeez.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't.
I'm still really having fun with Destiny. I think and like last night when I was streaming it, it was great. Here's my thing about Destiny: when people knock it, they're like, "Oh, the story sucks and there's no real characters." I'm like, "Yep, all that's true."
Yep.
But I have fun playing it. Like I enjoy playing it, especially because you're supposed to play it with people. And so
Yeah.
when I'm playing with people and talking to them and having a conversation, it's just like, "Oh, that's cool." I'm blowing these
Yeah.
people. Where do you work? And like last night we beat the game.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that was the last mission." There was no build up to that. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
My bad, my bird. But yeah, I don't know. The hype has been interesting. Day one, everybody's like, "Ah!" And then now it's been really negative as we go.
To answer the first part of his question, no, I don't think it did live up to the hype. I think that's pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
The reviews on Metacritic are like 70, mid 70s. Like that's where it is.
Yeah.
For me, I was disappointed. I was just they just seemed like what they were going for was a lot more ambitious.
Sure.
I guess I thought it'd be more like an open world MMO Mass Effect, where you're like, I can get in my ship, I can go to this other planet.
Yeah.
I'm like, following the story. There's this big like epic story that
Yeah.
you're following. There's other players in the world that we can interact with, but actually the game's really like, you take all that, it's just like,
Yep.
it's just like, go on generic missions over and over again with your friends, and then go back to the tower where there's nothing to do, no one to have conversations with, get your better gear, go back out and do it again. Do that over and over again. Like
For
that's
50
kind of like,
hours.
I was just like, when they first unveiled Destiny, it sounded so huge and ambitious, and
Yeah.
it's just it's not that, at least not yet.
Yeah. I don't. It's not a bad game. I'm enjoying my time with it, but I think the thing I'm disappointed by is the fact that it feels like what we played in the alpha and the beta.
Sure.
The entire game is just sort of that. It wasn't like that. The beta is like, here's the small taste of what you're going to be doing. It was sort of like, this is what you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And repeat. And if you're fine with that, then cool. But if not, sorry. So I think this game is also going to be supported for a very long time. Obviously, the glass. Whatever. Glass Raid came out today, and that stuff we got to see a little bit of it back in July, and it looked insane, like some real like next level stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that, and I'm hoping this is sort of like the first Assassin's Creed game, where it's laying the groundwork. Like first AC's really flawed game, but laid the groundwork for what came afterwards, which AC2 was incredible. So I'm hoping that whatever Destiny 2 or whatever updates this game gets sort of does that. Yeah, I agree. It's like Titanfall, where it's
I don't know.
All of our faults for overhyping it.
Oh yeah. I see. My thing is, I don't think it's going to fade away like Titanfall did.
Okay.
I think it's going to have a more of a lasting. I think people right now who got it and are like, this isn't that great, will come back when more stuff comes in. Because it strikes me as it's running with the normal MMO thing, where like DC, right? Like I know it's my only MMO experience, so that's why my references are. This is not a joke. DC starts and a whole bunch of stuff's broken. There's not that much stuff to do once you hit level cap. You're like, well, whatever. And now you play that game and there's an overwhelming amount of stuff to do because they kept adding to it. And so they've put out the little thing of scheduling content. If they can stick to that, hey.
Yeah, that's what Titanfall didn't do, right?
Right.
There just wasn't enough content in that game, and
Yeah,
people got
yeah.
bored with it really fast.
Yeah.
So if they can keep content coming on a regular basis, then I could see people continue playing.
Yeah. I think it was Brad at Giant Bomb tweeted the other day, like, and he basically summed up my thoughts of like, I get why people are down on it, but it's still the only game I want to play right now. Like, I come home and I'm like, yeah, it's not crazy ass Mass Effect, but it's like, well, it's still fun to play, and I do want to get the gear, and I do want to go back to the tower and see if I finish that bounty and do this, do that. And now I'm to the point of like, man, what am I going to do with this? I'm just about to be 20. Am I going to be able to do the raids with people? Am I going to have to grind out here? What the thoughts are?
It's interesting. It's the third new IP of the year.
Yeah.
That's a big AAA game. Titanfall, Watch Dogs, and Destiny. And all three people kind of felt disappointed by.
Yeah.
Whereas something like Wolfenstein,
Sure.
not trying to reinvent the wheel, just trying to be like a solid like shooter.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, this game is awesome.
Yeah, and we went in with super low expectations
Yeah.
of Wolfenstein.
We're like,
See, I
Well,
think
it didn't
that's-
preview really well. Yeah.
I think that's the big thing about it, and like where you come at Destiny and all these other games, right? Is that for me, from the get-go with Destiny and Watch Dogs, I saw those games and I was like, they don't look that great to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we came back from E3 this year and I got into the beta or the alpha
Yeah.
or whatever it was and played it, I was like, oh, man, this is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I got to see the systems and how it all works. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then by the time I got it, I was like, this is exactly what I want right now. Kind of a mindless shooter, run through, get better gear and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But then people who were expecting a Mass Effect kind of experience, they seem to be like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, it's the nature of the industry that I'm sort of bummed out, though, that we can't live in like a bubble where all of a sudden we just get home and we're like, oh, here's this new video game by the
wonder if
guys
this
who
would be
made
amazing.
Halo.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we're like,
yeah.
oh, this is cool. Yeah, but instead we have to hype it up for 2 years.
Well, it's funny you say that because David writes in to
Hi, David.
Beyond at ign.com and he says hello.
Hello,
Actually said
David.
hello. He knew you were going to say hi.
Yeah.
IGN absolutely disgraced itself with its coverage of Destiny this week.
Who's this guy?
The sheer amount of articles, videos, and spoiler-laden walkthroughs was staggering. And posting the ending before writing the review is particularly egregious, in my opinion. By releasing so much superfluous coverage, aren't you effectively creating false demand rather than responding to the actual demand, and thus having to create more and more content which serves only to feed extraordinary levels of hype? Hype, it now appears, that is undeserved? Beyond, David. Well, David, you are feisty. And I like that. A lot of big words in there.
Yeah.
The problem is, like, on this thing, where he's talking about, like, posting the ending and the walkthroughs and stuff like that, like, that's how, I mean, first off, that's what our readers want and our viewers want. Like, those articles are doing
I can
well.
definitely see why he's upset because he's forced to click on that
Right.
and watch the ending
Yeah.
and have it spoiled for him.
Yeah.
He knows that if he doesn't click on it, that video will expire and disappear.
Yeah.
Complain about, get out of here.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing too. Of like, yeah, the review takes time. Like a walkthrough doesn't take as much time because you play it and you know what you're doing. You put it up in
You
pieces
put the
and go.
videos, yeah.
You help people. You're part of the conversation.
Yeah, and we put it up because that's what people are playing
Yeah.
right now. That's what people want. People
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
these. Our wikis for Destiny's blowing up. All these videos are blowing up, and
Yeah.
so
We don't decide what's going to be popular with our readers. We
No.
respond to what's popular, and 5 of the top 10 articles in the past week are all Destiny related.
Yeah.
Like, that's what people are interested in right now, so that's what we're trying to cover.
yeah.
I've been trying to make Patapon in DC Universe Online super popular, and it's not working. So-
You keep adding it to our mega franchise.
Yeah.
we need to
Come
follow.
on there, Greg.
I can shout about this guy forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Never
Right,
going to be
right.
popular.
One more Destiny question comes from Ben. He says, Beyond.
Yep.
Dear Greg Collin and the handsome mug in the third chair, that's you. You are handsome. Don't deny it.
What does he say?
Destiny is getting mixed reviews. Greg, I know that you're loving it, and I'm loving it as well. When it comes to a game like this, reviews do not bother me. However, I hear the Vault of Glass raid significantly changes the endgame and makes it much more fun. My question: should the Vault of Glass be taken into consideration when reviewing a game, even though it came out 1 week later? One reviewer who gave the game a 6 out of 7 scoffed that the raid was not released and able to play for his review. My opinion is absolutely yes, it should. Most players are just now able to run a raid, and it was just released a reasonable period of time with no additional cost. Beyond, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
This is a loaded
Thanks for not
question.
yelling
This is
at
the
us.
problem. Not a loaded question, really. This is a problem that we all deal with, right? It's not me anymore. Not Damon anymore. We don't review games anymore.
Yeah.
Coasting through life. But the people who have to review lives, the schmucks like you,
Oh!
it sucks, right? And because you want to give out a complete review, and this is what I thought of the game,
Yeah.
but this is a real concern.
Yeah, and I mean, half the comments we get are like, "What the hell? It's been a week. Where is your review, IGN?" And the other half is like, "How dare you critically talk about this game until every piece of content is out there?"
Right.
So it's tough. It's a lose-lose scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, our thing was with this review is we would rather be thorough than early. And so that's what Vince has done. I mean, that's why it's a week out from launch, and the review still isn't up. It will be up tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be up on Wednesday. And yes, Vince is playing / has played the Vault.
Yeah. I guess
but-
if the question is, should this new content be considered, it just depends on whether or not it's available.
Yeah.
Like you can't give an opinion on something you haven't experienced.
Yeah.
But now that it's out, and if he's played it, then sure, yeah.
But that's the whole thing. Is like, the Titanfall that exists now is much better than the Titanfall that existed at launch.
Right.
But you have to write the review at launch. You have to
Yeah.
play the game and review
can't-
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
like you can talk about the content as it comes out. But I mean, yeah, it's tough. And going forward, so many games are going to be like this.
Especially when you're talking about something like this that relies so heavily on multiplayer, right? Because this isn't like the old argument would have been like if it was Infamous and Infamous had a mission that unlocked a week later, you'd be like, well, I reviewed the game as if somebody who went home and turned on their PS4 and didn't have online access. You played what's on the disc. Whereas this, you have to be connected online to play the game at all. So now this comes in and clutters up things. So there's no easy answer.
In the Vault, this is a single, very meaty mission.
Yeah.
So I don't think like the claims that this dramatically changes the end game and makes the entire game better. It's like, well, no, this is one possibly very good mission.
Yeah.
And I don't think that. I mean, that's worth talking about, but I don't think in the grand scheme of things.
You don't play 25 hours of it, get to this rate, and go, oh, man.
Okay.
Now it's gone from an 8 till a 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. We're going to do Hit of the Week. It's a Destiny one. This one comes from Frisky Dingo.
Oh. That was a TV.
No, that's not right. Yeah, I want to call him Frisky Dingo.
That was a cartoon before Archer.
He says Adult Swim show, right?
Yeah.
Beyond.
Yep.
Greg Collin, the occasionally rotating third chair. I am hoping to be Hit of the Week on the podcast because I desperately need Destiny teammates. When I upgraded the next generation, I chose PS4 over Xbox One despite being a 360 player previously. I love Destiny and would love help from the Beyond Nation. My PlayStation ID is Wendell_T_stamps. That's Wendell, WENDELL_T_stamps.
Wendell T. Stamps.
Everybody send him a friend's request, say Beyond, play Destiny with him, and have some fun. Speaking of fun, Damon, are you ready to have fun?
I'm ready.
I've stolen a page from the Super Knockin' Boots playbook.
I've heard of this.
You've heard of this
Sounds like
podcast?
a good show.
It's where they insert pictures. Now, I'm not going to show the crowd the picture because the story's creepy, but here we go. Hello, guys, Beyond.
I mouthed Beyond.
Good job. You did a good job.
Yeah.
My name is Joel from Australia. Sorry, Greg, I don't have the accent, so don't even bother imitating Winky emoticon. I've been listening since episode 100 or so, and I've never written in. Until today, that is. I am sitting on a train in Germany, and I have witnessed something truly incredible. A woman is sitting across from me, and I swear to God, she is nothing but a female version of Colin Moriarty. Pics below, love you all, and beyond.
Wait, why is she a female version of Colin Moriarty?
Because she's got similar facial structure on her, and she's got the glasses.
I'm not seeing it.
Mario doesn't see it. Do you see it,
I'm
Greg?
not
Yeah, I see it. And I think she's hot, so that's saying a lot about me and Colin's relationship.
I mean, she's...
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
She looks like an attractive German
Sorry,
girl.
Joel. Maybe your
see
eyes
this
were
at all.
different in Australia, but you failed the Beyond test here.
No, you got 1 out of 3, though.
But
Greg?
well, yeah, no, that's a fail. That's a fail rate.
Oh.
Fail
but
state.
You live with him, so your opinion skewed a little
She got her mouth open like Colin does. Her nose looks like Colin. She breathes like Colin. She got a round face like Colin.
like Colin?
Is this picture moving? Is this Harry Potter?
She's turning into one of the things Notch was turning into.
A Simmel.
Thank you.
Forgot that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I don't have a good short-term memory.
No, I'm sorry. I don't see this.
I see a little bit of it. I don't think he's crazy. But
Just crazy.
yeah, he's just crazy. Just normal amount of crazy. All right, Damon. Do you want to answer a question or be part of a discussion about Freedom Wars, your job,
That's what I'm here for.
photo mode?
Wait, these are options?
Yeah. Freedom Wars, your job, photo mode, or Dead Island 2 versus Dying Light?
My job.
All right, cool. Tio writes in and says, hey, Greg Collin, and ever rotating third chair Beyond.
Hey, Tio.
Nice. You're a good guy.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you could have a segment on Podcast Beyond where you guys talk about what your job is and what your daily workday is. I'm very interested in IGN and would appreciate it if you could help me learn more. Thank you for all you do.
Thanks, Tio.
Damon, you start.
Well, I'm a host and producer, just like Greg over here.
Yeah.
And I focus, I sort of oversee our news video product, and I host GameScoop. Those are like my primary responsibilities. So I'll come in the morning and I'll see what news is happening, and I'll sort of prioritize some news videos. I write the scripts and then I shoot them, and then we do that a few more times during the day. I have other editors that edit the videos. So I'm like monitoring news and getting news videos up all throughout the day. Once a week I host GameScoop. That takes a little bit of planning, figuring out topics, getting a cast together.
We're doing
And
it
then-
today.
Yep, we're doing that later today. And then I edit GameScoop myself and then publish that. And then I'm also available to just host whatever needs to be hosted at IGN. Live streams, one-off videos, video features. I do VO for reviews and other people's. So those are my primary responsibilities here.
Yeah. That's pretty much my thing, too. You insert instead of IGN News up at noon and instead of GameScoop Podcast Beyond, and there you go.
Yeah.
Every day you come and screw around, do conversations every so often, do VO stuff like that, stand-ups and interviews and whatnots. But yeah, we come in and talk at cameras now. It's pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet.
Pretty good job. Marty, What the hell do you do?
My job's a little different.
Yeah.
I do what you guys used to do.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of we've got rid of channel-specific editors in theory. So I'm sort of just a jack of all trades editor. Especially this year, I've been traveling to literally almost every event and preview events, so I'm out of the office very often.
Getting those freaking flyer miles, though.
Yeah, getting them United. I'm coming back home.
Is that what you
Midwest.
do? Yeah.
Yeah. So and sort of my job, I will hop on news when need be. I handle previews, reviews. I do a lot of feature work. So yeah, the job is super fluid. It's definitely not 1 week I'll be spending the entire week reviewing Dark Souls 2, and the next week I'll be churning out news stories, and then working on features, and yeah, a lot of video stuff. I like it though. Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
I think we all like it.
yeah.
We have fun job. Yeah, we have fun here. We're not your
Quote
typical
Mike
office.
Drucker.
God, I miss Mike Drucker.
Yeah, so do I.
All right, Marty.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about Freedom Wars, Photo Mode, or Dead Island 2 versus Dying Light?
Let's do Freedom Wars.
This comes from Joseph.
Hey, Joseph.
Hey, Greg Collin, the perpetually rotating third chair. Do you think that a hardcore Vita gamer like I will still have a good time with Freedom Wars if I play single player beyond # Freedom Wars hype? Now, we just learned from the Destiny hype. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah,
Freedom Wars looks awesome. I
Yeah.
enjoyed playing it.
I'm excited.
Have you played it?
Yeah,
I think you'd have fun single player.
yeah. So do I.
Are you familiar with this game?
I know that it's supposed to be awesome.
Yeah,
Basically, Vita game. Think Monster Hunter set in like cities, like real futuristic cities where there's giant monsters you're trying to shoot through that are robotic and get people out and then get them free. Like you're this ragtag team. It's also like you're kind of in prison and you have this like number
million-year sentence.
Yeah, exactly. And so like you doing these, it's like Suicide Squad, which I know you're a huge DC Comics fan,
Yeah,
so you know
you
exactly
know
what I'm talking about.
I'm reading New 52.
I know,
okay.
and I wasn't even. Oh, I didn't mean like I was really trying to hurt you.
I'm saying,
You watch an Arrow, aren't you, or were you thinking about it?
I'm all
Okay.
caught up with Arrow.
Oh, there you go. Then you know Suicide Squad. So it's the same thing. These guys are like trying to get years off their sentence by going out and doing missions like this. 4 players, you can run through and do it all ad hoc or online. You can play by yourself though and have AI teammates who run out and do stuff.
Yeah, a lot of it's like, I don't know if the game's a lot like Monster Hunter. I don't know if you've ever played Monster Hunter, but you can play that by yourself and have fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, the online component adds a different dimension to the game. But I'm personally, I'm more of a single player gamer than an online gamer. Even in certain games like with the first Dark Souls, I never even had my copy hooked up online.
Oh, wow.
So I played the entire thing single player, and I had an amazing time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, from what I've seen, I mean, Freedom Wars is mechanically really interesting. I love the aesthetic, love the
Yeah.
world. It plays well, so...
Yeah, for me, it strikes me a lot of how I played Peace Walker, where I loved Peace Walker and sat down and put so many hours into it. But then when I would be at an online hotspot, I would jump
that
in.
was
and,
awesome. Yeah.
And jump in and do things with other people. Mike Prairie used to come over for Peace Walker dates after work, and we'd sit there and play and do all these different things. Like, I want that experience again. Because like this whole thing is getting better gear and leveling up and doing that. That sounds awesome to have on a portable and invest all this time in.
Yeah.
So I think you'll be all right, Joseph.
Was Mike P on Nice Date?
Mike P's a great date.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
I like him too.
He doesn't get enough credit around here.
No.
I blame Damon.
What are you talking about?
You're always
His brother's a big GameStube super fan. I mean, he just let us all the time.
It's true. It's very true. That checks out 120%. All right, then. We're going to end with David Morris from Spokane, Washington.
Woo!
He says Beyond.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Please,
wooed.
it's not the same. Please compare and contrast Dead Island 2 and Dying Light. They both look nearly identical. Thanks. Damon, we've played both these games.
Yeah, from what we've seen, Dying Light seems more polished.
Yeah.
But I guess it's farther along than Dead Island 2.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, I like that, when people talk about, when Dying Light showed up, it was like, oh, it's from the guys who made Dead Island, so it's just that. And you looked at screens, you're like, it looks like Dead Island, but then you play it and it's like, okay, it's the parkour, it's Mirror's Edge, it's fluid, it's about moving.
Yeah, it brings some new things to the Dead Island formula. The traversal is new, and the day and night cycle is another new twist that I like.
Yeah,
Right.
and I like that the game sort of emphasizes, like Mirror's Edge, avoiding combat.
Yeah.
And getting out. Like, during the day, you can fight zombies in Dying Light, but at night, you are meat to these. Zombies sort of transform.
Zombies are OP.
They're OP. They
There
get
you
OP.
go.
You down with OPP?
Overpowered.
Yeah, you know me. Yeah. And so at night, it almost turns into this like stealth survival game where if
Yeah.
you get caught, you are completely dead. Whereas Dead Island, if you play the first one, it's all about crafting crazy weapons and just going through.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, being a Dead Island fan, even though it was always like movement felt heavy and like clunky of getting up to something and then beating it up or shooting it or whatever. So like to play this and have it be move as fast as you can, do this. See, look at paths that you can take. Whereas
Absolutely.
Dead Island was very much where's the open door to go through.
But I agree. I mean, on screenshots alone, the games look very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar content, different settings though.
Okay. Any predictions for TGS?
seriously, there's going to be a lot of Disgaea 5 information coming out on Friday.
Oh, okay. That's a good prediction.
Yeah.
That's a lock of the week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Both of us were just like, I don't know what to do.
No, Damon did it.
Yeah, that was good.
What about you? Any predictions for TGS?
Well, I had predictions, but then
They all got can't. I just expect to not be like blown away by anything.
Yeah,
I don't expect there to be amazing announcements out of the conference tonight. I don't expect to hear about amazing games.
Hoping for maybe some concrete Phantom Pain. When are we gonna play this game info?
Yeah. Well, Kojima tweeted out that thing about another Metal Gear Solid collection.
Oh God.
For 2014.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Stop
what
it.
Are you talking about?
Release the effing game.
Yeah.
Hoping a little more PT. I don't think we'll get anything.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, maybe some more solid facts on that.
Solid.
Silent Hills.
Could be a good time to do. I mean, I know they just showed more Metal Gear Solid 5 at Gamescom, but that could be a good spot.
Yeah.
Good place to do it.
I want to see some Kingdom Hearts. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that Goofy.
You like Goofy? That's what's drawing you to Kingdom
He's a
Hearts.
tall talking dog. That's
He
why I
is.
like Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
All right. We have a new segment here on the show called
like Goofy was like an experiment.
Right. This always happens because
Yeah.
Pluto's a dog that isn't like
Pluto
treated
can't
like a
talk
human being.
and he doesn't walk upright. Like
Yeah.
Goofy does. Like, why is he
It was an
special?
experiment.
Yeah, he got like the Ninja Turtle.
That's why he's so
didn't
dumb.
ask for this.
So it's like it worked, kind of, but he's really like dumb. Like, what the-
Disney. Time for the worst PlayStation Network name of the week. This one comes from Robert. He says, "My name is Robert, and I've been listening to Beyond for a number of years, and I am a huge fan. A friend of mine has the worst PlayStation Network name and possibly the most entertaining.
God!
It is Stank Panty Pudding.
Jesus.
Stank Panty Pudding.
How does that stuff get through?
This is the whole thing. The segment here is that everybody's so mad that they can't change their names. Usually, I only allow listeners or viewers who write in with their own name, but this one was so fun. It was so comical.
Yeah.
Stank Panty Pudding that I had to include it. But yeah, like people want to change their names, they can't. They make them when they're stupid. But I went through and checked it. There he is on PSN.
That's
Just chilling out
nuts.
with level 5 trophies.
That is nuts.
You made your
You
pudding.
figure
Now
how do
live in
you?
it.
Well, you'd have to get them, Damon. You'd have to say that the word panty is bad, and we can't make that decision for people.
Who are we to judge?
I don't
Also,
know.
the way you pronounce it.
Like, is it really hard to like
Panty?
write an algorithm
Yeah.
to like just maybe you can't put certain words together with panty?
I would have never thought of stank and pudding being put with panty.
I'm just saying, like it's
Man, you really pronounce it with a hard T.
Panty.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
panty?
Panty.
Well, there's a T in there though.
Yeah, I know. I say
Well,
the
but
T in my
those-
mind.
There's lots of words with silent letters in them.
Yeah.
How could I forget about the silent T? The bane of English-speaking people everywhere. Panty.
I think both are fine.
No, I think so. Well, I mean, I mumble through words all the time.
Like Simmel?
I get a lot of roof. I get a lot of trouble for saying let's go
Is
on
that
the roof.
Dog noise?
Yeah.
It is, yeah, but it's supposed to be roof.
Yeah, it's
But I
roof.
say roof.
That's also a dog noise.
All
They're
right.
both dog
Thank-
noises.
Roof.
Yeah. That's what Goofy.
I was gonna say number one Goofy fan over here. Guess it. Why is it so high pitched?
I don't know. You ever play that Goof Troop game?
No, I did not.
Shinji Mikami's first game.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
crazy.
No, second game actually. He did it in the last
Because
game
it was
before that.
because Capcom did a bunch of they had
Yeah.
like the Disney license.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Podcast Beyond, episode 360. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, Podcast Beyond posts every Tuesday as an MP3 on ign.com and your favorite podcast services. Then on Wednesday, I put up the video on ign.com, youtube.com/IGN, and of course, that PlayStation 4 app, which is free, Marty. You have no reason not to download it if you got a
Silly.
PlayStation 4. Don't be stupid. Go click on Colin and I's face in the PlayStation Store. Then head over to IGN because that's what keeps the mic on. Read the articles, watch the videos, subscribe to Prime, contribute to the wikis, build a spaceship, and name it the IGN. That's a challenge.
And then go explore the vast beyond.
Follow us all on Twitter. IGN is IGN. I'm Game Over Greggy. Marty is Mick Biggity. Damon is Dame Zero.
What's the story behind Mick Biggity?
It's a good story. Go ahead.
Is that something you wish you could change? Like that's
No,
your
I'm fine.
stank panty pudding.
I like how you say panty. That's good. That's good.
I'm just saying panty.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it. When I was a lad, I was intoxicated after a baseball game once and went to a McDonald's and I wanted a large milkshake. And I argued with the person behind the counter that the biggest size of McDonald's was the McBiggity. And I was very adamant. I'm like, no, this is the size I want. I want the McBiggity milkshake. And she's like, sir, that's not a thing. That's a made-up word.
So you were being a jerk?
I just wanted to give them as much money as possible by ordering the largest.
So you believed in the McBiggie?
I absolutely.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay.
Oh yeah, I believed in the McBiggie. Yeah, it wasn't like trolling or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like to see a drunk Marty arguing about milkshakes.
Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.